Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Content warning.
Content warning who?
Content warning you. You shouldn't be watching this if you're under 18. It's not a really good idea. Let's start that show.
You born ready?
I was born ready.
We started.
Yeah. I just wanted to do that. It's good to be a little creepy in the beginning.
Guys, welcome to Did You Hear About This? It's a podcast about stories. I'm Bryce.
I am Sharpan Joe, Derek.
Just a reminder, as always, we are not reporters, we're not historians, we're just two guys who like to tell stories. We about to say something right there. What were you going to say?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm really fine.
Yeah, don't ever hold back if you want to tell a story, man.
No, I'm good, man.
Because I'm going to start this off with like a personal story.
Okay.
Because there's a reason I wanted to do this podcast with you. Because I know we're very similar when it comes to storytelling and how we want to do things.
Mm-hmm.
At work, Steve came up to me. It was on Wednesday. It's important. You know it was on Wednesday.
It's on Wednesday.
He came up and
That
he was
says
like,
a lot.
he's like, how's it going, man? I'm like, I don't know. It's Wednesday. It's the farthest day possible from the weekend, so it's it's about as good as you expect.
Hump day.
And he came with the question, do you think there was ever a time where Wednesday was a part of the weekend? And
That's a really deep kind of question, actually.
he asked me that, and my first thought was, this man wants to hear about how the calendar was made. and if you're wondering, no.
Oh, you about to do the calendar story?
No. Hey, Bryce, this man does not want to hear about how the calendar was made. Hey, Bryce, this man wants to know how the calendar was made. So in my head, he wants to hear it, so I go on and I tell him the entire story about how Julius Caesar made the fucking calendar. And I was near the end of the story, I'm like, this man is not hearing me, and it does not care what I'm saying right now.
He stopped listening minutes ago.
Yeah.
You said Julius Caesar and you lost him.
So yeah, I'm like, this is why we're doing the podcast, because I have all these fucking stories.
Worthless stories.
Yeah, that no one's going to listen to unless they want to listen to it.
And you forced me in a room so you could tell me about calendars.
Don't worry, I'm not going to do the calendar story.
Really?
I might do it eventually, but not now. I don't want to do it now.
I'm going to wait for the days. I'm counting them.
On the calendar?
Caesar. Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar. It was like calendar day.
I'm gonna keep hinting at the calendar story forever, and then just never tell it.
Can we make that a national holiday? Calendar day.
I think
the day the calendar was made.
There's Calendar Man, the superhero, the supervillain. Sorry,
I say yeah, he's a villain. He's really creepy in the video games. But if you go look at like the comic books,
yeah.
It's like going from like, you know how people always complain about Hollywood movies, like always trying to make them gritty and mean.
Yeah.
That's what Calendar Man is in that fucking Arkham game. Because the comic book, he's ridiculous. He only does like crimes on holidays.
Yeah.
And they're always like holiday themed. Like if shit goes down on St. Patrick's Day, it's a green. He's wearing like green and shit. Like that's the stupidest shit in the world. But then you go to the video game, he's like a big dude with a bald head. Looks like he beat the shit out of you in a bar. He's like, I'll have a message for you for every holiday. It's like, all right, that's a weird way to do an achievement.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
I killed your mother.
He killed you. He kills one mother every Mother's Day.
That's actually like a really good idea for a villain. Anyways,
it's like Jason from Friday the 13th, except he only kills one per. Oh, that's actually a neat idea.
Yeah, surprise! We actually have good ideas sometimes.
No, we don't. That's a horrible idea. That is a C-list movie that people put on when they watch Ginger Dead Man. You don't know what that is, do you?
I don't.
Imagine about a gingerbread man about the size of about my knee, up to my knee.
It's like 2 feet.
Yeah, it's about 2 feet. And he's voiced by Gary Busey in the
God.
first movie.
Oh, God.
And it's him, Gary Busey. Okay, it's like Chucky. You know how Chucky got killed and he went to the doll?
Yeah.
Gary Busey gets killed and he goes into the gingerbread man and then he just sits around like in a fucking bakery killing people. And people go, it can't be this cookie. It's just a 2-foot fucking tall gingerbread man cookie. And it's so horrible. The people who make that movie, if I'm correct, they also distribute porn. So that shows.
Do you think there's ever a crossover?
I would watch a pornographic horror movie. That sounds like fun. They already kind of go together. There's always tits in horror movies.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Just finish it off. Finish it all the way.
Yeah, exactly. They let him finish, and then he goes, "Oh, that was good," and then a knife just comes out of nowhere and stabs him in the back.
His dick is a knife.
His dick's the knife. They have a movie, well, not with a dick knife, but we can make that. They have one where the lady has like teeth in her vagina. I think it's called like Bite or something like that.
I think it's called Teeth, isn't it?
Is it just called Teeth?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty good. I feel bad for the doctor in that movie because she goes to the doctor to see what's up. If I'm remembering the movie correctly, he's not a creep. I want to say he's just an innocent doctor.
Yeah.
And he puts his arm in there, and he just fucking chomps down on his arm and kills him. He's like, he didn't do anything wrong.
He's a doctor.
He's a doctor.
He's a gynecologist. Maybe look at my vagina.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, and he loses his hand.
No, I think he loses up to like the elbow. Somehow he got deep in there.
That's that. Scratch that. Bad doctor.
Yeah.
If you're elbow deep in your patient.
I just imagine a vagina with teeth slowly biting him in.
I feel like it was more
pizza.
like, it was like just a regular. He has like checking it with like one finger, and then it just opens up and it takes his entire arm.
It's like The Thing. Remember, do you ever see the movie Thing? John Carpenter's Thing. It just opens up and just slams down on his fucking arm.
Okay,
this is a really weird way to start this off.
We're 5 minutes in. We're already talking about eating and.
You know, we started talking about calendars originally.
Welcome to the podcast, guys. Let's start with this one. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about Anna Sorokin?
Who is that?
She was famous in about 2014.
Okay.
Because in 2013 she moved to New York City.
All right.
She stayed in lavish hotels, award-winning restaurants. She ordered things that weren't on the menu, and the cooks made it for her. She went to spas and salons regularly, and she said she got all of her money from her family's £60 million. She's from Europe, £1 million trust fund overseas in Germany, and she tipped only in $100 bills.
Wow, high rolling.
Do you want me to cut to the end and reveal the thing, or do you want me to go all the way through?
No, we'll save suspense. Let's keep going.
Cool. So she moved in to New York City in 2013. In 2016, she wanted to buy the Church Missions House in downtown Manhattan.
All right.
She talked to banks about loans, how to get it, and she sought financial advice from counselors and hired a PR company. And then when she was like super deep in trying to get the money around and get everything for this, she left the U.S. for Germany. Okay. Suddenly. And then February 2017, she comes back. She stayed into an expensive hotel with a high-end restaurant in the building, meaning she could charge the bill to her room. Mm-hmm. And she stayed there for 4 months. All right. Racking up the bills. Mm-hmm. And they're like, and they finally someone realized, we don't have a credit card on file for her. She was like, hey, so we must start hounding her. Hey, can we get a credit card so we can...
Anything. We got to start charging you.
Yeah, we can start charging you. This for 4 months she lived there free, eating there for free. Yep. So she went, during this time, if you're wondering, was going to banks and trying to get loans for the missions house and getting money for everything because she had no money. No money whatsoever. You gotta fake it till you make it. She had no money and just living. She went to get a loan for $22 million. She told them they could pay back with the £60 million trust fund she told them she had. They said, okay, we'll give you one, but we need $100,000 now to cover some legal fees and to look into her so they can give her the loan. She went to a smaller bank. He was like, hey, can I get a loan for $100,000? And as soon as I get the money from that bank, I'll pay you back for this $100,000 loan. And they're just like, okay. So they gave her... What do they have to lose? Gave her $100,000, and then she took the $100,000 and gave it to the other bank to get the $22 million. And this happened about months before she started getting hounded for the bills. So she eventually was like, she pulled out of that loan, so she got $45,000 back. from that because they refunded her from $100,000. They went through half of it, so they refunded her $45,000. She took that $45,000 and gave it to the hotel. And was like, "Here, this will cover some of it."
She's just trading money around. She's just a middleman at this point.
And after she gave him the little amount of money, that's not all of it. That was maybe not even like a third. She then left New York City.
Got out of Dodge.
She came back, and then went with a writer to a trip to Morocco, saying that I'll pay for it.
I left my wallet with all my millions of dollars back at the house. Do you got this trip?
Yeah, seriously, you stayed with this woman, and then they hounded them. The bill went up to $60,000.
Jesus.
And the writer that she went, where the writer worked for Vanity Fair, she's like, "Hey, can you just cover this time? I don't have the thing on me." So the Vanity Fair writer, who was making $62,000 a year, had to pay the $60,000.
That sucks.
And by the time they returned back to the States, she was starting to get famous because people were like, "Who is this woman staying in these hotels and not paying anything?" And she was already hounded out, and she was arrested in December 2017 on 6 accounts of grand larceny.
I wonder why.
Her final bill was $275,000.
Hey, honestly, I was expecting it to be larger.
So
she made out pretty okay.
Yeah, so she spent years going to all these lavish parties
and not doing shit
on IOUs. In this time, she took the time span I was telling you about. She took one of those flights where it was on a private jet.
Oh, so that's really expensive.
On an IOU. People just like...
She's like Kim Possible.
Yeah, she just said she had money.
Favors.
She said she had money, and people were like, okay. And she just did whatever she wanted.
Bryce, speaking about that, can you cover this for a bit? I got a few dollars I can help you out with.
So, she got... she refused the plea deal for a year in jail. Instead, she went to trial in March of this year.
Now we're getting really recent with our stories.
Yeah, she had to... she delayed the trial multiple times because she didn't like she was wearing.
I think I've actually heard the end of this story. I believe I saw that.
Yeah, she was charged of all things but the 2 charges of grand larceny, and she was sentenced to 4 to 12 years in prison. And
she seems like a nice person. She'll get out in 3.
And 4 to 12 years, $200,000 in restitution, and $24,000 in fines.
You think in jail that she's doing IOU still, but instead of money, it's cigarettes because that's the currency. Like, yeah, I got a pack in my room. I'll get it for you next time. Can I get trade up for this?
She in the New York Times, after she was sentenced, they interviewed her. She said, "The thing is, I'm not sorry. I'd be lying to you and everyone else and to myself if I said I was sorry for anything. I regret the way I went about certain things."
Hey, she's honest.
She's like, "I fucked up here. I know how I fucked up."
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to screw up next time. When I get out here 4 to 12 years, I'll be staying at hotels all the time.
Don't worry.
The high life.
ICE confirmed that she will be deported when she leaves prison.
Oh, shit.
Because she's
from Europe, technically.
She's actually from Russia. She told everyone she was from Germany.
Why?
I don't know.
What makes Germany better than Russia at this point?
I think it's because of... I don't know. I have no idea.
It just seems like a weird lie to make up.
So...
that proves that Germans and Russians sound alike because nobody questioned that shit. They're like, yeah, close enough.
It's
like seeing English people and Australians. It's like, all right.
You're some foreign white girl, sure.
Yeah, it works.
And so she went all through this because she was a really good liar. And her lawyer, in his opening statements, compared her to Frank Sinatra. So it's just like the wildest thing. Like, she just got away with all this stuff for years, and she had nothing.
The thing she probably learned is that you can't fake. You can't do like a minimum. If you're gonna fake it, you got to go for the high shit. Because as soon as you start backing off, they're like, maybe she doesn't have as much money as she has. You got to just keep building and hope that nobody catches you at that point.
Yeah. After she got back from the Morocco trip, she found out the building she was trying to buy It ended up being sold to someone else.
Who could actually afford it.
Yeah, and then she went to prison shortly afterwards. It's like, everything is not going for me right now. Because she wanted to put, like, multiple things in the building, like a juice bar and, like, a bunch of, like, things.
Start making money legitimately.
Yeah, because if she would have gotten that, she would have made back all of the money tenfold.
Especially in New York. People love juice.
Oh, yeah. This is downtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
She would have made this money. If she wouldn't have got this building, she would have been fine.
She would have sold all the juice in the world.
Yeah, she would have made all the money back easily. And she wouldn't be lying to anyone anymore. Yep. But she couldn't get that building.
She couldn't push it. That was the one thing. It was like in Looney Tunes cartoons where they move the one little block under the bit, and all you see is everything fall over.
Yeah.
That was the one block. Like, if you can just leave that there, will be perfect.
So, her real name is Anna Sorokin. She called herself Anna Delvey during this time.
I'm guessing that's more Russian.
It's more the name she gave herself was more German.
Oh, sorry, she was Russian, and
Sorokin,
posing as a German.
Sorokin is very Russian.
Yeah,
but
I guess I don't know my Russian last names. I haven't looked up on them, comrade.
So she was big on like Instagram and all this stuff. So she's clearly not now. She's in prison, but
she can still be online. They have online in prison. I don't know.
I don't think they have Instagram in prison.
They got Facebook in prison and Twitter.
Maybe I don't know. Shocker! I'm not sure what goes on in prison. I've never been there.
Unless somebody else is working on I'm going to bring up something really weird. Is somebody else working on Bill Cosby's Twitter? He's on Twitter still, and he's still in prison.
Jesus,
because he did something for like Father's Day, and everybody freaked out about it.
Don't.
No, sorry.
No, you can keep doing. No, Bill.
Oh,
stop.
Don't do it, Bill. Yeah. Calm down, Bill.
Bill, we need to talk.
You and your sweater vest needs to get out of here.
We got you.
Oh, it's not a vest; it's just a sweater.
We got you your Twitter. We got you your sweaters here in prison. We need you to stop.
Can I get some pudding too?
We can get you pudding. Stop making dad references.
Yeah,
and things referencing women just in general. We need you to just like hold down. Do you think he's
like?
Off.
Do you think he's like? I think it's Shawshank Redemption. Remember the old guy that ran the library? He's like, you think he's that guy? Like he has like a fucking pet bird. He just sits in the library.
That's also in a sweater.
He has the prison scrubs on, and the sweater's over top of it.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, back to the story.
It reminds me of the Longest Yard, of like the guy who was like trying to like work for the guards and like put down the plays of the inmates.
Yeah. Oh, he's a snitch.
Yeah. Cosby's a snitch.
Cosby's a snitch. Don't spread that. Well, I guess you could if you wanted
to. What is he gonna do?
Yeah, what he's gonna come.
He's in prison.
Yeah.
He's gonna meet Anna in prison,
and they're gonna work together on the Twitter and.
She's like, I know you're on social media. I'm gonna help you. You need a lot of help right now. I'll be fine. Your image is trashed.
Somehow we're in a co-ed weird celebrity prison.
I believe in my mind, all celebrity prisons are co-ed, so they're just all hanging out together in prison.
I know we're going on a really long tangent, but have you seen
it's fine, man.
The rich people prisons? I want to say there was like a thing on it a few years ago.
I only saw the Wolf of Wall Street. That's the closest I got.
Oh, I've never seen the Wolf of Wall Street, but I've seen it was a thing where they were talking. These are like people who only did like small time crimes. There's not like major violence and stuff like that, but they're literally just hotel rooms. But instead of the regular door, it's bars on the door, so you can't open them yourself. Somebody has to come get you. I want to say I seen there like 5 years ago. People are just like, "Yeah, I'm going to jail. Can I buy a nice prison cell?" Because they're spending money, I think, so they don't go to the real prison.
Yeah,
because you get fucked up in the real prison.
Yeah, that's I can guarantee because her parents, going back to Anna, they weren't rich. They were just her dad drove trucks in Europe.
So she wasn't rich at all.
Oh, yeah. So they were just normal people. She just told everyone, oh, by the way, I'm rich. And they're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Because like you said, fake it till you make it. And she almost made it.
You can do anything. Here's how do I want to put this? Here's your life lesson. You can do anything if you can lie good enough about it. That's how politicians work.
That's how almost this worked.
Yeah, pretty much.
She was just not good enough a liar. She was close.
No, literally, from what you're telling me in the story, that one piece was the one major piece that threw everything out the window. If she would have got that place, and then she probably would have had to lie a little bit to get the equipment.
So what I think the issue happened was when she stayed at that hotel for so long.
Yeah,
she didn't leave before they realized they didn't have the credit cards.
It's like
if she would have left before that, she wouldn't have to refund that money, and the bank could finish looking her up, and she would have $22 million then. Mm-hmm.
It's like the song "Killer Queen." She never stays at the same place. She always moves around.
Yeah,
you can't stay in the same place. You stay somewhere like maybe a month and a half to 2 months tops, and then you move to another place.
Yeah, she stayed there for 4 months. And
4 months is way too long.
Yeah,
that's a quarter of a year. That's more than a quarter of a year.
Yeah, so her problem, we're gonna solve her problems for her. Hey, Anna, if you're listening to this,
never stay anywhere longer than you should be.
Yeah, your problem was when you stayed there for 4 months. You got to get out earlier than that.
That's like standing in a bank for 3 hours. People are going to start questioning why you're there.
I understand that you wanted just weird things off the menu. Stop. Add like a nice salad. You got to fly under the radar before you can soar.
Yeah, you can stay expensive places and lie about it, but you got to lay low while you do it.
Yeah. When I understand that the chefs knew you. How about chefs don't know you?
Yeah, exactly.
You
order stuff that's actually on the menu.
Yeah. Order the cheap things on the menu. Yeah. Like I said, salads,
soups, breadsticks.
I bet there's a nice grilled cheese. Those are always very cheap.
Grilled cheeses are delicious.
They're fantastic, but they're cheap because it's just cheese and bread.
Yeah. I got nothing for grilled cheeses right now. I don't want to get in a long conversation about grilled cheeses. That just seems like a weird way to go.
Hey, we can talk about grilled cheeses. How about we try to go... Hey, surprise. You guys already know this because you do Florida Man every week. Mm-hmm. But we're from Florida, and I try to convince Derek here to go to Disney Springs. Because I heard about those grilled cheese. I don't want to go to Disney
Springs.
I heard there's a really good grilled cheese there.
I don't give a fuck. I heard there's one good thing there. I heard there's a good grilled cheese there too. It's at Planet Hollywood. Which I didn't know Planet Hollywood still existed. I thought they all went bankrupt and went down. Literally, I think there's only like 3 left.
I'm trying to figure out how they fit an entire planet in
Hollywood.
In Hollywood, yeah.
It's a very small planet. It's where they actually did the moon landing. It's in the same building as the moon, and then over to the side is the planet. And then they got Mars down the street.
All right, so since I mentioned Florida Man, let's just jump right into Florida Man.
There better be a grilled cheese story in this Florida Man.
Because we had the one from a while ago about the person attacking with a sandwich.
Yes.
That's the closest I got. That was a couple weeks ago.
He comes back, but now he has a cooked sandwich.
I have a good amount here. Let's go through all but the last one. Then we're going to go to some crime blotter again. Okay. Don't worry, I vetted these ones. Mm-hmm. And then we'll end with another Florida Man.
The top of the Florida Man.
Yeah, the number one Florida Man.
The gold prize winning for Florida Man.
There should be an award show for Florida Man.
The prize isn't even a gold medal. It's like a fucking trash can lid. They spray paint it gold.
It's a trash can lid with a gator on top.
Yeah, little gator.
Yeah. So you won the Florida Man of the Year award. You get this and a $200 fine.
You lose money for winning.
Yeah, honestly.
You owe us. I want a game show like Jeopardy. You know how you can go into the negatives? I want when you go into the negatives, that's how much you owe the game show money. They're like, yeah, you're giving us $3,000, bitch.
They're on like Jeopardy, and it's like Alex Trebek is like, sorry, Jonathan, you owe us $1,200.
Yeah.
We're gonna need that before you leave.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get out of here. Well, that'd be checkings or savings,
or we can follow you to the bank, or we could follow you home if you don't pay this.
I've seen that happen before in restaurants where people's cards don't work and they're like, I'm going to go to the bank. And it's like, somebody better follow him. He ain't coming back.
I saw this thing, apparently this woman and her kids went to a sushi restaurant. Mm-hmm. And they like ordered this sushi and they were eating it. And she realized, oh, this is a lot more expensive. Like when she was almost done. Mm-hmm. She's like, a lot more expensive than I thought. How about we only pay for what we ate and not actually the rest of it? And then the restaurant's like, no, we made you this.
We can't reserve this.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, she got mad about it. I can't believe they made me pay for the food I ordered.
Just take it in a to-go box. Eat it later.
Yeah, so she had to like leave to go to. The kids had to stay there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so she left and got to an ATM to get money to come back and pay for it. So
that's a good deposit right there. You hold on to this, and I'll be right back.
So yes, pay for the food you order even if you don't finish it. That's a garbage person thing to do.
Do you think if you
also tip your waiters?
If you can't actually afford to pay, do you think they still let you do the washing the dishes thing in the back to pay off your bill?
I haven't heard about anybody doing that. Well, I've never met anybody that's
trope
not
in like a movie.
Yeah, I've never met anybody that's never been not able to pay for what they ordered. Me either. So I've never heard of anybody. I had to wash dishes because I didn't have enough money to pay for my burger.
Because of how much food costs now, of how much people get paid in restaurants.
Oh yeah,
you're not even working there for the night. You're there for the next 3 days.
So
washing dishes.
If you go by hypothetical, I think is the minimum in Florida still like 10 something?
I think so. That's the minimum, but everybody's trying to get up to 15.
So hypothetical, if you went to a place that was like $20 a plate, you had to work there for 2 hours in order to pay it off. Yeah, that's a lot of dishes.
That's a lot of dishes, dude. And that's one of the punishments where they go, well, there's a washing machine. No! You do it by hand. Here's a sponge.
You have to work for 2 hours.
2 hours.
We're going to find something for you to do for 2 hours.
You're washing the bathroom for 2 hours.
Here's a toothbrush.
Go
clean the floors.
You get like the drill sergeant for Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, God. He works at the McDonald's.
Oh, dude, I love that.
Speaking of McDonald's, Florida Man.
Florida Man. You know, that thing we were supposed to be talking about.
I just realized I forgot to. Hey, shout out to Young Walnut for letting us use his song for our intros and outros. You can go search YouTube Young Walnut. He does great music. You also find him on SoundCloud. He is awesome. Has a Discord. He has a Discord. You can find it on.
That's the big thing now. The kids love Discord.
Yeah, Discord me, bro.
Yeah,
that's what they say, right?
Yeah, sure.
So we're gonna jump right into Florida Man.
As if we haven't jumped in already,
dude. It's been like 10 minutes of us talking about getting into Florida Man.
All right.
Florida woman tries to use Lyft as a getaway vehicle. Driver refuses, prompting her to call an Uber.
Did the Uber driver take her?
I think she was arrested by then.
Oh, if I say that, not to be rude, that'd been the best slogan for Uber. Like, we'll get you away from your problems.
Don't worry, we'll always drive you.
Yeah, exactly. We'll always drive you, no matter what.
So the Lyft driver pulls up. She's like, "Go, go, go!" And he's like, No, get out of the car. I don't have to. This is my second job. I don't need this. So she gets out. Fine. He's like, get down those Uber real quick.
The worst part is she looks at the driver of the Lyft and she's just looking at him. I'm getting the Uber.
He looks at the driver. 1 star.
And
walks
away. Yeah, 1 gets out of there.
I think she was arrested before the Uber showed up. Can you imagine being that Uber driver showing up? I'm looking for an Anna.
Anna, you have the right to remain silent.
Cancel. I'm gonna take a hard pass on that.
No, not even that. The Uber driver shows up. The police are arresting her. He goes, "No, I'll take her to prison. That's my fare." Throws her in the back of his car and drives her all the way to the fucking police station.
He pulls up. And a police officer stops him, rolls down the window. That's Rebecca, right? Cool. I'm not going to cancel this. I'm just going to fire you guys there so she still pays me.
Yeah, exactly. She still owes me money.
I'm still going to get
switching
paid for
route
this.
to police station.
She give me her phone. Okay, I'll switch to the location.
While she's sitting in the back of the car, the Uber driver pulls up next to him. Would you like a bottle of water? He starts handing her stuff.
I have a bottle of water and a thing of salty crackers.
Yeah, salty crackers.
I've never been in an Uber or Lyft where they gave me snacks, but I've always wanted to, so I can leave little comments. I'm like, this guy gave me a Reese's.
Yeah,
it was nice.
He's a really nice guy.
I had a guy who I sat in the back. Mm-hmm. Clearly, don't talk to me because I was picking up from college.
Did he try to chat with you?
And he was in the front. He talked to me the entire way there. I'm like, cool. Yeah, I'm going to school for film. Yeah, cool. The clouds are nice.
Yeah. It looks like it might rain today. I don't know.
Because he kept going on trying to find something to pull for. I'm like, cool. You're playing music.
Just let it play.
We're cool. I'm already going to give you 5 stars, give you a nice tip if you shut up right now.
You get less of a star every time you bring up a different conversation point. I've never been in an Uber or a Lyft. I've never been in a taxi. Usually, if I have to take transportation, it's not my car.
Yeah.
I'm one of those broke motherfuckers who's like, I'll sit on a bus for the next 3 hours and then transfer to another bus for another hour.
I do it a lot for like flights, so I don't have to drive my car to the airport. I did it a lot in college before I had a car. The one I did most recently was to the airport, and it was early in the morning. Our flight was like at 7 a.m., so we had to get there at like 5. So she picked us up, and she's like chipper, and she has like a coffee, and I'm like, cool, your car smells weird. This mom is driving me and my mom to the airport. I'm like, cool, I got 2 moms now.
2 moms. There's no way I can bring up bad language in this car.
All right, let's go into the next Florida man.
Next one.
This one has to do with McDonald's, because we referenced that earlier.
So we are going back to sandwiches.
Yeah. Well,
they sell sandwiches. Well, they sell burgers.
They sell sandwiches and burgers. It has nothing to do with those, though.
Oh, okay.
Because Florida man pulls gun on McDonald's employee for not trying his vape.
It's really good, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, really try. I'm telling you, try this vape.
It's like bubble gum.
Yeah,
it's so. Try the vape.
It's
try the vape
flavor.
try it. Do it.
But vape, vape, it's better than smoking. Try it. It's a lie.
There should be an advertisement for a vape, for whichever one. I don't know the brands of vape.
Neither do I. I don't smoke.
Yeah. So try it. Like, it's so good. You're gonna want other people to try it so much, you might pull a gun.
What would you do for a vape? That was the best I could do. Vapes don't really have multiple things to make it sound good.
I would pull a gun on someone.
The worst part is you gotta wonder if this was actually in the restaurant or if it was at the drive-thru.
I think it was in the restaurant, I believe.
Because if it's the drive-thru, that's when you can just shut the little window and try and walk away. You're like, nah, we're done here.
I've seen videos of people like prank, but I'm doing like air quotes, prank the McDonald's
social
place.
Experiments, pranks, bro.
Where they go and like they have someone like grab their food for like running by or do something. Yeah. They grab the ice cream, buy the ice cream, and eat the cone. So I'm like, that's just...
It's weird.
They're being paid minimum wage already. Leave them alone.
No, there's one guy who does like they're like magic tricks.
Yeah.
And he had one where it's not really a magic trick because it was just like him. He made it so he like didn't have a head while he was driving.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a bunch of videos like this are probably fake, but I love it. There's one where he goes into like it's a Burger King clearly, and the people freak out. They're like, "Whoa!" And he gets out the car and climbs through the fucking drive-through window with no head because his head's inside the shirt. And it's like, that's the weirdest thing. 'Cause they have security cameras inside there, so management was looking at it like, what the fuck's going on?
Hey, Kayla, can you explain to me what is happening?
Yeah.
Why you're letting this man climb through the window?
With no head.
Clearly, call the police next time.
He lost his mind with our amazing deals.
Fuck it. Hey, if anybody wants to sponsor this podcast, Derek has got you.
I can make 1,000 lines you won't like, but everyone else will.
Dude, if we get sponsors, I want you to read all of the sponsorship stuff.
I can do that.
Because I just want you to just go to town.
I'll be somewhat civil.
We'll put it this way. You won't regret sponsoring us.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's Florida man named Murder. His name is Murder. With that name tattooed on his neck, was arrested.
For... Was it murder?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you get what you see. This is one of those things. Okay, I don't remember which comedian it is. I want to say it's John Mulaney, actually. It might be John Mulaney. Where he goes, they say never to judge a book by its cover, but that's what covers are made for. That's this story. The man's name's Murder. He has it across. That's like people who have the little stitch marks that say cut here around their neck. It's like, yeah, they're probably not selling your cookies if they knock on your door.
So it brings up the question: is there like other people with like lesser crimes tattooed on them? Like,
jaywalking,
shoplifting. My name's Shoplifting. You can call me Shop.
I'm trying to think of other crimes.
Manslaughter. I only do it on accident.
Yeah, he never kills people on purpose. His actual last name is Slaughter.
No.
He's a sergeant. He's Sergeant Slaughter. Anyways,
God.
That's for the wrestling fans in the audience.
It's you and me, and that's it.
People like wrestling.
It's starting to come back a little bit.
Hey, yeah, true. Public Indecency. It's a really long name.
What's a really long one that goes all the way around your neck?
Bryce, no. It's Public Indecency, but it's not around his neck. It's around like his junk. So you have to read it as he's running by in Public Indecency.
Who did it? Some guy. I don't know what's your emergency. A guy just flashed me. He had Public Indecency tattooed on his like thigh. Oh, we know who you're talking about. Yeah. We'll be there shortly.
And at it again, Public Indecency. And then as soon as they were putting him in the car, the Uber shows up. Like, I'm looking for a public indecency.
I'm looking for public indecency.
Yeah, indecency. Yeah, he can't pronounce it right.
Rolls the window back up, drives away.
Do you think okay, I know we're moving off topic. Do you think anybody's ever hired an Uber and the naked guy's gotten in the car? It's like, I need you to take me down the street. That's where my clothes are. I'm not sure about that last part. I feel like people have gotten into Uber's naked before. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've driven them. Like, all right, get out. I'm allowed to refuse. Get out. Nah, you know what you need to do? You need to put a camera in and be like, remember they said that show, Taxi Confidential or whatever?
Yeah.
Do like that, but with Ubers now.
There is. Shout out to the YouTube channel Ryan is Driving. He does a lot of those, but he recently had to stop because Uber doesn't let people record their drives. So Uber's like, stop working for us. And he's like, this YouTube channel is exploding.
I imagine it sounds, especially if you go to like New York, LA, Miami, like the big areas, you can get some crazy stuff. I think he's in
Austin, I believe.
Oh, that works too. It's Texas.
Yeah. He does. Shout out to him. Its videos are awesome.
I have to look him up. I haven't seen him.
Let's move on to another car-related one.
This would be story number 4 for Florida Man, I want to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Florida man parks his Tesla overnight in a stranger's lawn to steal electricity. My electric bill's getting too high, man.
Hey, it's depending on how you're charging, it takes a while for Tesla to charge, unless you're actually using one of the proper stations.
Yeah.
There is actually a guy on YouTube who drove across the loneliest road in America. I want to say his name is like CGP Gray. He's a really smart guy. He did that, but he had to use like RV adapters to charge his car. You know how he used Tesla cars? He'd be like, oh, it's going to be 45 minutes to an hour before your car is fully charged. He was plugging that in. They're like, it'll be done in 18 hours. And he just went to bed for the night, for most of the other day too.
Yeah. And
would drive his car. He almost didn't make it. But, when you look at the bills, like the phone bills for like, do we know anybody in Dallas? Who are we calling in Dallas? It's one of those things like, why do we have a $276 charge on the electricity bill? What is this from the 18th? Was the car at least? You said it was on the lawn.
Yeah.
So it wasn't hidden. It's just a guy.
Yeah.
And then even if he got the car out of the way, the guy would walk outside and see tire marks where
exactly.
the car was at.
But hey, man, it didn't say his neighbors. It's just a stranger's.
A stranger's car.
He's like, I just need to charge my car, and then like, you have working power.
That actually happened at my old house before, because we had an outlet outside and we would find people who had shit plugged in.
Yeah.
We also had a water spigot so you could turn it on.
You had an outlet outside?
There was an outlet outside, yes.
What is it? Well, I guess it's probably for like lawn stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's still really weird they have an outlet. Was it like just covered up?
Yeah, it was like one of those big gray box ones you had to like pull open.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, there was an outlet. We used it for Christmas lights.
That's good.
Christmas.
But still, I'm from rural Ohio, so it's things outside isn't a good idea because snow.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I had an outlet outside. I'm like, the snow would get inside of that.
Bryce, do you want to hear a stupid story about me and snow?
Of course.
Okay, so the way my old house used to be, imagine like a row house. So all the houses are connected.
Does it have walls and a roof?
Yes, cool. There are walls and roofs on my house. Yeah,
just making sure.
Anyways, but there's the front door. There's the big open window. But there's actually a second door on the house because you had steps to go into the basement from the front of the house.
Yeah.
Me and my friends decided, because it was just like a little pit when it snowed, we piled it in with snow so we could jump into the hole and not get hurt. We just get in there.
Yeah.
Almost flooded the whole basement because the snow started melting. We had to dig it out. And it literally, it was kind of like, yeah, we can use this as like a crash mat. And we start piling this snow in. It's probably like a good 5 feet of snow in this hole. We're just trying to jump into it.
In theory, great idea. In practice,
nah.
We can't use anything in the basement anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, there was water. We had to put like towels in front of the doorway so it didn't get any further.
Yeah, in Baltimore, there wasn't any flooding unless we caused it.
Yeah, exactly. It had a drain on the bottom. It just never worked because it was clogged.
With snow?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, go from that house. Let's go to Florida man tries to sell house.
Okay.
And post a photo of it, literally on fire. This house is lit, yo.
It's ready for remodeling. It's looking for that special someone who wants to flip a house and remodel it.
You don't need any sort of heating.
Yeah, nothing at all.
It's
not that you need heating in Florida, anyways.
I hope you like dark paint.
Dark.
It's gonna be super dark.
I imagine somebody bought the house, and as soon as they open the door, it just goes.
It just collapses.
Yeah, exactly. They're just holding the doorknob in their hand. The door falls off of it.
And the floor mat says "Fire, sweet fire."
Yep. They just go and lay in the ash pile.
Do you think that was clearly it was a red flag for buying the house?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there was?
Was it in a nice neighborhood though? Is there schools nearby?
What's the closest supermarket?
Yeah, exactly. Is there a community center?
How close is it to the airport?
Yeah, exactly.
From downtown.
How long does it usually take for ambulances to show up to here?
I know the fire trucks are already there.
Yeah, they're already
ambulances,
here.
So.
Ambulances. Nearest
firehouse is next door, right? Next door?
Yeah, literally next door. I used to go past a house that was when I went to school that had a firehouse right across the street from it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they must get pissed off really late at night if there's ever an emergency.
I mean, I feel like it'd be like, you guys go do what you're doing. You're gonna leave in like a second. I'll just take a nap. I can wake up to know you're saving people's lives. I'm willing to survive that.
Nah, this is in Baltimore. They don't give a shit about that. Unless it's their life, they're like, fuck that. I want to go watch the fire.
Yeah, the exact opposite for me. The firehouses in rural Ohio. Mm-hmm. For Halloween, they would open up the front door and be sitting out there with candy giving out. Mm-hmm. But they always had the good shit because they weren't paying for it like the state was. Mm-hmm. So like, do you want like full bags of chips? And we're like, please. Because right. there's also we had a potato chip factory, mm-hmm. and they would also give out just boxes of just potato chips. And it was always the best time.
There's all the shit we can't sell. Take this.
Yeah, because they were like, it's Halloween. Let's just give out free potato chips. And everyone was like, I need to go to the potato chip factory I know we have to go to a factory to trick or treat. Sounds weird. But when you go to a factory for trick or treating. You get a lot of
chips.
Yeah.
Well, I used to go to, we used to have a thing where you had to go to the mall to go trick or treating.
Yeah.
Like you could do house to houses, but the mall would stay open late and each store would have their own candy.
Yeah.
It was really weird because it's like certain stores weren't open. You had to walk by large gaps of darkness and then get to that mall. You know what I always want to do for trick-or-treating? I want to get the really tiny, like, baby-sized candy bars and then get, like, 3 or 4 of the, like, king-size ones. The ones
like
that
the oversized ones?
Yeah, those, like, novelty ones. And have, like, you're my 100th 100 trick-or-treater. Here you go, and just slam it into their fucking.
And you have a small counter in front. You just like tick it.
Yeah, exactly.
For every single one. So
it's like a deli counter.
So they can see it. So they're like, all right, we have 3 more people we gotta wait for.
Yeah, you gotta go. We gotta wait. I'll be known for it every year. Every 100 person gets one big candy bar.
And here's this Snickers the size of your body.
Yeah,
here you go. Do you need help carrying that?
Yeah.
I have reusable bags.
You imagine if you did that, the parents would be like, "Where the fuck did that come from?"
So, yeah, let's take a Chinese candy. He has a bag, and he has a Snickers strapped to his back.
Yep. It just slowly melts inside on top of him while he's walking around.
It was heavy. It's a lot lighter now.
Yeah. Those things are weird. I've never had one, but I imagine if I opened it, I'd be like, where do I start?
I bought the oversized Reese's before, and they're like the size of my face. It came with a pack of 2.
That's when you like cut it like a cake, I imagine.
We ate it like a cake. We just
gotta slice it.
We have a big pie. It was pretty much a peanut butter and chocolate pie that you can eat everything of.
Not that big, but Reese's sold. Okay, this is gonna sound like a really bad story, but she was a good dog. Anyways, we bought my mom they had like these big novelty ones for like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't as big as those. They're probably like about the like size of one of those, like the roundness of those big lollipops they have. But Reese cup. We wrapped it and sat it in there. Our dog knocked the Christmas tree over, climbing all the way to the back to eat them.
Jeez.
And we sat there. I'm like, this dog's gonna die. It just ate like 10 pounds chocolate.
Yeah.
Lived for like another 3 years.
I had the same thing. A dog, our old dog, it was years ago. She's unfortunately passed away now, but it was like 21 years old. She got the chocolate covered donuts and just ate the entire bag of it. We just found the bag like, oh, Jade.
I think it's just a myth. I don't think dogs are allergic to chocolate.
I think they are, but if they weren't like, maybe they weren't like concentrated chocolate that we had.
It's got to be like baking chocolate where it's pure chocolate.
Because she lived another 10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't
give your dogs chocolate.
Yeah, don't give your dogs chocolate.
Do not experiment with that. It's a bad idea.
These dogs fought their way for this chocolate. They had the initiative. You can't just hand out chocolate. They're not trick-or-treating with dogs. Exactly. That's adorable, but don't do it.
What do you do? Okay, what do you do if you open the door trick-or-treat and you only have chocolate, but the dog has a bucket, like it's holding it in its mouth?
I will 100% go find some sort of meat in my house immediately. Like, I will not let that dog leave with nothing.
Here's some Oscar Mayer wieners. Here you go.
They would love it. By the end of the day, just a bucket of meat.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be delicious, actually, for a dog.
The dog would love it. Now you're making me want to take a dog trick-or-treating.
This
year we're going to take a dog trick-or-treating.
People not only that, you'll get mad candy because people love dogs.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you dress the dog up and they're sort of kind of matching you.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. Like if you're a ghost,
the Justice League.
You could be Batman and you could have the Robin dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we got to move on.
Okay, it's the last Florida man.
We have 2 more Florida mans.
I thought we were saving one for the end.
No, we have 3 total.
Oh, shit. Okay. We gotta...
Yeah, we have...
We've been talking.
Florida man distracted by scantily dressed woman in gas station heist. They stole 200 gallons of gas because the clerk was saw a woman who was in a tight sundress and no bra or anything, was showing everything off. She's he was distracted and they stole 200 gallons of gas
without him realizing it.
Yeah,
she must have been pumping gas for a while.
No, she was I think she went into the store and people she was with stole the gas outside.
Oh, that's just the best con in the world there. She's like, I want some chips, but from the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
And she had to go all the way down to get that.
I looked up and I wanted to find the dude what he looked like distracted. There was only videos of the newscast of them at the thing afterwards,
but nothing else.
And that's you saw me looking this up earlier. And that's what I was like, I want to see the dude reacting.
I imagine it's do you remember the old SmackDown versus Raw video games, the really old ones?
Yeah.
Remember when the Divas, they didn't have, because women wrestling wasn't as big as it is nowadays, but they, so their finishing moves was them poking their ass out, and the people who were wrestling, their eyes got big and they flipped backwards on their back of their necks.
Yeah.
I imagine it was something like that. He was looking boom, and he just went backwards.
It's like a cartoon, his eyes go out.
Yeah, he's like Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
He's got those Mr. Bean eyes.
Mr. Bean.
Look at me with those Mr. Bean eyes.
That is a fetish somewhere.
Dude, you know it is.
Let's go to the next one. Florida man smashes window because they were out of Cinnabons.
Cinnabons?
Yeah, they're out of it.
So
they smashed the window.
Dude, this is a man who has a routine in the morning. He gets himself a coffee and a cinnamon roll, and he will not take anything less. They were like, well, we got some off-brand donuts. He's like, no! They're hard as rocks.
No, this shit doesn't go with my diet.
Yeah, exactly. It's not part of my diet. I can only have cinnamon. It's low on carbs.
So
they should make diet cinnamon rolls.
How would they? Well, probably just sugar. They wouldn't
sugar-free cinnamon rolls.
They probably do, but they don't. Obviously, not as popular.
Obviously, because it doesn't taste good. Sugar is delicious.
Yeah, because I think they put cinnamon sugar, not just straight cinnamon.
Yeah,
because it makes it more edible.
Exactly.
Because people do the cinnamon challenge, they can't swallow that.
Bryce, if we ever do live video, can we try the cinnamon challenge?
I'm gonna spoil something for you.
Have you tried?
I've tried and beat it.
I doubt that.
You don't swallow meat. You keep it in your mouth, and your saliva builds with it, so it's easier to swallow.
There's a joke there, but I'm not going there.
So let's end the conversation there.
No, can I talk one more thing about cinnamon real quick? Do you ever see the cinnamon challenge video where they replace the cinnamon with like, I think it's like some type of like hot powder, like crushed peppers or some shit like that. I think I have. And they smash it down. All you see is their faces go immediately red.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
I love that idea. All right, so
we're gonna do one or two crime blotters and then go back to do the last one because we're already at like almost 50 minutes in this episode.
All right, do them quick.
It's a crime blotter of in California. They record all the crime. This is the best of 2012. A day after selling a table on Craigslist, a woman found 200 plastic forks and knives stuck in her front yard. So
that's weird, man.
She sold the table, and like the next day, her yard was covered. They were stuck. They were stabbed into the ground of 200 forks and knives.
That's the weird part. Is the two subjects you just told me don't sound like they connect at all or have any purpose, but I imagine they do at some point.
I think the woman was like, I think I know who did it. This person that bought this table for me.
So they were so upset they stabbed along. Bryce, one thing you should know.
Either they hated the table, or like during the picking up the table, he's like, I really like forks and knives.
Yeah, and starts
but only
stabbing.
plastic ones, and I love to stab the ground.
Bryce, you will never understand how much I hate plastic forks.
Okay.
I hate plastic utensils in particular, but really plastic forks. Because every time I try and use one, they pop. And I hate that shit. Same thing with spoons and ice cream.
Yeah, I saw the video of the spoon that I was like trying to shake it off into the bowl, and then like it flew off and like flew like 4 feet and landed on the table. Like, damn it! A resident called at 1 a.m. to report that his patio furniture was on top of his car. There's a ghost out there putting my furniture on top of my car.
That's just a funny joke. I love that. Not that we both of these don't sound like crimes. They just sound like like frat fraternities. They're like, this is what you got to do to get in.
Yeah.
And they just or like after like after high school, right before high school ends, people usually do like pranks at the end of the year. That's what that sounds like. The only way it could have been funnier is if it was an actual principal. Like, yeah, we put the patio furniture of the principal's on his car.
So
hopefully it wasn't heavy patio
remember
furniture.
These aren't our people that were arrested. These are just calls that were made to 911.
Yeah.
So people were like, there's patio furniture on top of my car. Please come pick me up. Mom, come please pick me up. I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be here anymore with my purple sweater.
Let's do last one. This is another one I wanted to cover.
All right, we can take our time. We got 10 minutes still.
A paint or possibly sherbet was thrown at a car. It's orange. I don't know what it is. It's orange. It's on my car.
They actually used to, if I'm remembering correctly, they used to do that way back before we were born. They would throw paint on people.
I'm
not talking about like the PETA stuff. I'm talking about like they would just threw paint on people for fucking shits and giggles, like yellow.
I was driving because I'm in rural Ohio. I drive through a bunch of cornfields. Mm-hmm. I was driving home one night and my car got shot with a paintball gun. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm fucking not stopping. I keep going. It was like
a clown with a paintball gun.
Yeah, somebody shot my car with a paintball gun at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I didn't stop because
obviously you just hear the ding and you're like, I'm out of here.
I heard the doof. I'm like, I'm gonna keep driving. I don't want to be here anymore.
Dude, the idea of that though is okay. So it was thrown on their car.
Yeah, or it was paint or sherbet.
Hopefully it's paint because that makes it funnier.
I don't
if it's sherbet, you can just clean it off.
I mean, well, either way you can clean it off, but
now if it's paint, that shit dries. You're screwed. You got a tinge on there no matter what.
I told you the story about the person who threw their coffee on my car, right?
No, you have never told me that. At least I don't remember it.
So I was exiting out of work, and I had to go across 3 lanes to get to the left turn lane to make a U-turn to leave. Mm-hmm. So I had the left turn signal on me. I had to go across. There's no cars there. There's a car behind me. Mm-hmm. I head out and go straight across. Left turn signal on the entire way. Mm-hmm. They try to go left and speed around me and trying to get in front of me to pass me. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I don't know what they're doing. They're behind me. Mm-hmm. I keep going. They almost get around me. They stop because they almost hit me. Mm-hmm. I continue on. and they pass me the other side, and I get to the light, and they drive by, throw their coffee at me, and it slams and hits my car, and it covers my windshield with coffee. I'm like, I drove 10 feet, and you tried to floor it around me.
It's like Austin Powers when the shoe's like, who really throws a coffee? I mean, really.
So
it doesn't hurt. It's coffee.
So I'm like, what? You just lost your coffee.
Yeah. And
B, because you weren't just waited 2 seconds.
And where we work, that's expensive ass coffee.
Yeah. I'm like, anyways,
that's
sorry.
like an $8 coffee.
I just got super confused about why they threw their coffee at me because I was doing everything legally and right, and they were just.
Well, you live in Florida. They don't follow the rules.
You're right.
Dude, I remember I always have that idea of putting Florida and New York drivers together in a car and recording it. I still think that'd be a good idea.
Or just me and you.
Yeah, that would work too, because I like to yell at you when you drive.
So let's end this with the last Florida man, and then we'll do the last housekeeping stuff and get out of here. Florida man arrested for calling 911 after his kitten was denied entry to a strip club. This place is full of pussy anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well bring it. If anything, that's how you want to know why? Because they knew if he brought the cat in, because it was a kitten, they knew to bring that kitten in, he wouldn't have to pay any money. The strippers would come to him.
Exactly.
They were like, oh, look at the cat. And they would come over there, like, yeah, come look at it.
I feel like this man is taking the term pet play a little too far.
He has they asked for ID. He has his ID and a fake cat ID. He's old enough.
It's a cat from Catburg.
Catburg.
Pounds 1.
Age. How old do you gotta be at strip clubs? Is it only 18 or you have to be 21 to get
18 to get in? I think it's 18. I know at some clubs 18 they put an X on your hand saying you can't buy drinks.
So maybe strip clubs are 18 as well?
I believe so.
Okay.
So it's like I'm an 8-year-old cat. Yeah, it's not human.
Yeah, exactly. So in cat years,
it's old enough. Fine.
Yeah,
cat years, right. It's still not 1, but it's fine. So
that's the smartest idea I think I've ever heard of. That's almost as good as taking dogs trick or treating.
I don't like.
Take cats trick or treating. Take them both. Take a kitten trick or treating, but keep them inside the bucket. So when they come to give the candy, the cat pokes its head out from the candy. And they give you even more candy.
See, what you have to do is dress up as a lion and then take like an orange cat and take this as Simba.
Lion King out in theaters.
Yeah. I've only heard
bad things.
I heard one person saying it was good. Everyone else I heard say it was bad.
I have not. The original one's good.
Yeah. There's not enough. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna say anything. But I've only heard it was bad.
I'll say things. I heard it sucked. But yeah, so that is the smartest idea. No, that's why he wins. He's Florida Man of the Week. He gets the official Florida Man of the Week here.
For the man who was arrested for trying to take a kitten to a strip club, you are this week's Florida Man of the Week.
We need to get you a cookie.
Remember, you get the trophy, the coveted golden trash can.
Trash can lid and the $200 fine.
And $200 fine.
We'll expect your check in the mail, or we'll take cash if you just want to bring it to us.
Yeah. I think that's all we have this week. Again, thanks to Young Walnut for letting us use his music. If you want us to talk about a certain story, go ahead and email us at DYHATpodcast@gmail.com. That's DYHAT podcast@gmail.com. We'll be back hopefully next week with another episode. Hey, Derek, do you have anything else you want to end with us on?
Yeah.
All right, it's been this weird.